used to do years ago, farmers only had so many acres, you know. They couldn't afford to buy a lot of acreage. So a lot of people that lived in San Francisco or something had maybe 5 acres around here that they used to come and buy the fruit off the trees. They would guess how much fruit was on a tree. And then they would pay a down payment. And if the fruit, then they would harvest it, and then they would pay them the balance after they sold their fruit. I don't know if you're familiar with fruit or not, but you look at a tree, the fruit is green, and you have to estimate. Well, Dad got very good at estimating. He learned from Grandpa how to estimate. And one time he stripped the tree to see how many pounds were on the tree so he could guess better. So they would go and they would maybe have 10 acres of their own. And then they would go and estimate other neighbors that didn't want to harvest their fruit. And buy, as I would say, they would buy the fruit on the tree. So that's the way they got started. And then my mother bought a 4-acre ranch on Laurel Avenue in Cupertino. That's where we were raised originally. And then my dad bought a place on the corner of Homestead and Highway 9, which is now De Anza Boulevard. Used to be Sunnyvale Saratoga Road. Used to be Mountain View Saratoga. Then became Sunnyvale Saratoga. Then became Highway 9. Now it's De Anza Boulevard. And it's the same street. We picked prunes and we cut apricots and we loved it. I cannot believe, every time I think of it, I hear people saying how we hated to pick prunes and how we hated to cut apricots. And I said, well, you know, we thought it was fun. We used to have people come in the summertime, and when we were on Laurel Avenue, they used to come and stay in the basement. And then when we went to, and then we used to cut, and we used to think it was fun. We'd get out there and visit, we'd sing, and you know, at that time, it wasn't like today, where at 12 years old you cannot have a minor in the yard at all, cutting, because it's against the law, and they might get hurt. And we children were running around, and the whole family was there. And then we used to have school teachers come in the summertime and help cut apricots. They made a little extra money. You know, it wasn't like today. We didn't have payroll taxes. The other day I met up with somebody, and they never knew you packed cherries. And I said, I cannot believe. And so I sat there, and I said, you used to get a little 8-pound box of cherries, and you packed them in rows. And then you filled them in, and then you turned the tops down so the stem would go down, so you'd have a finish on either side. Then the fellows would seal them, nail them closed, and they'd open them and see if they were straight, to see if you packed them straight. And then we would ship them back east. So the women packed, that was in February, and in June. So every June, we got home from school, I'd have from 4 to 5, I could pack 1 box. Some people could pack 2, but I would pack 1 box in 1 hour. They started a school in Sunnyvale, and then they decided to combine Sunnyvale and Cupertino and made Fremont High School. Okay. My sister Irene was in one of the first graduating class from Fremont. So she graduated in 1927, and I graduated in 1929. There was a class that graduated in February that graduated ahead of her, but she was in the first June class that graduated from Fremont. So, and I graduated from Fremont too in 1929. Every Sunday we would go to the different fields and watch the boys play baseball. That was our activity, just, you know. And then when they had a picnic or something at Naperdack, then we would go there later on. And then every year, after the harvest, we had a barn dance in our barn. We were 3 girls, so we didn't have any trouble with all of them. Everybody came, brothers and sisters. I mean, we didn't go with couples or anything. You know, we just families came. The same way at Naperdack. They made a fiddle out of olive oil can, put strings on it, and they would play that. The people have come in. We were 10, 20, 30, 40 acres apart. And you know, you knew everybody, but you didn't, It wasn't like today where everybody is, the houses are so close. And you can't help it. People are here. There's the work here for them, at least up until now. Everything takes its toll, and everything works its way around. And I think that if we're just patient, that some people will go home. We won't have as many people here, and I think it'll all work out. But we have to be patient. We can't push it. And I feel sorry for the people that have lost their homes, and I feel sorry for the people that have lost their jobs. But many of them weren't very careful either. They bought too much, and it raised up the prices of homes that was ridiculous. So that the poor school teachers, the firemen, and the people that are working couldn't afford to live here. And it's not fair, because without the teachers and the firemen we're not going to get along. We need them. And I think it's interesting that some of the people that were making a lot of money are becoming teachers, which I think is good.